Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of the Weekend Hot Podcast. You got your boy KZ. You got my man Swag in here. This way or this way. You know how that damn
I'm
mirroring
over
stuff
here.
go.
I'm
Yeah, he
over
over there.
here.
Man, we got another great B side for you today. Another great topic. Are sexual fantasies a way to understand mental health, or are they related to mental health? Because there's a lot of, in the media. There's a lot of things going on with people getting locked up for sexual scandals. You got R. Kelly, of course. You got the ones that they don't talk about, like Ed Buck and then Kevin Spacey, oh weird ass. Then but a lot of people have a question, how does how can sex affect mental health, or does it have something to do with do your mental health have something to do with these weirdo like weird or obscure sexual fantasies and things that you see on TV. So we're gonna get right into it. Let's see here. First of all, um, a lot of people know, that I've heard that people had questions like, does bipolar really intensify your sex life? Can depression kill your sex drive? Things like that. But we speaking to like the weird, perverted things like you see on stars on TV. So for one, I remember like growing up in the '90s and stuff, and then hearing about like Jeffrey Dahmer and stuff. This dude was just basically
Yeah,
going around, getting young black dudes, chopping them up, putting them in this freezer and shit like that. And then when it comes back to it, when you look at these type of people, they have like these, have a lot of mental illnesses and stuff like that, on top of some racism too. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he was
yeah.
only eating our asses. Uh,
Eating that dark meat and shit.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then the fact that, the police just kind of just like, oh, it's no big deal because, he looked like, Jack Tripper and shit from Three's Company. So, oh, no, he's no problem. No, get out of here. He ain't doing that whole house smelling like ass and shit. That's what, what I'm
Like
saying? Cold dead bodies and stuff, and people telling them, people running from the crib, saying, "Hey, I just got away and shit." They still ain't locking this dude up. So, you know, but something I was looking at here, uh, now in this story is from Psychology Today. Fantasies, basically, fantasies are imaginary daydream-like scenarios that individuals play out in their heads. So you get a lot of these people, and this relates into as far as black folks, because like I said, right now you got dude Ed Buck out here. His fantasies that he like to drug young black dude, gay black dudes up, and then get them drugged up and have sex with them and kill them and shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
God
um,
damn.
yeah, he finally got his ass indicted, or convicted, I should say. I was Department of Justice. They sentenced him to 30 years, I believe. And so Ed Buck got 30 years in federal prison for providing methamphetamine to two victims who suffered fatal overdoses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember hearing about this one.
Yeah. So he was engaged. They say he was engaged in a pattern of party and play, in which he solicited men, some of whom were homeless or struggling with drug addiction, to consume narcotics that he provided to perform sexual fantasies, activities at his apartment. And prosecutors argued this was more than a fetish. It was a lethal and unchecked pattern of reckless disregard for human life. So, um, you know what I'm saying? Like, it always seems like there is a connection between the two mental. I mean, because you can't be a really sane dude, drugging dudes up and pretty much, you drugging their ass up, you getting off on drugging them up and doing some shit to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, and then you got to throw your race.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to throw your racism up. Now, of course, he used shit like, "Oh, you homeless and shit? Come on in the crib. It's warm. I got whiskey." Hey, remember on Trading
yeah.
Place?
You gotta set the stage.
He had the cigars and whiskey. We got cigars. I got whiskey. you know. So what do you think? What do you think about the whole Ed Buck thing so far? What you heard?
Man, you know, it's not natural as far as like the fact that I mean, the part that's not natural to me is the part like kind of along the lines of Dr. Cosby's. Like the having them in a totally submissive fashion. That's less of a fantasy to me than a
Mhm.
paraphilia. That's like associating sex with something that isn't even really a sexual thing. Like, I wouldn't gain nothing by fucking somebody who was too unaware to realize they getting it in. You
Mhm.
know, that ain't my cup of tea, but it's definitely unnatural.
Yeah. Now, why do you think some people's sexual fantasies are perverted, or people fantasies? You can daydream about anything, but then to actually act out on the shit, like, um,
Well, to me, sexual fantasies are perfectly normal, but they're more of your standard, typical fantasies. Maybe you might dream about being with multiple partners, or a partner of a different race, or something taboo like voyeurism, or maybe exhibitionism, something like that. That's more normal, but like the part that really comes off as unhealthy is more on the paraphilia side of the game, where it might be something inanimate, something not sexual at all. Let's just say balloons or something like that, or maybe dining on human flesh. It has a range, but it's on the paraphilia side of the game can be more unhealthy, and is usually stimulated by drugs or just being kind of mentally broken. You know.
okay, yeah, now that's true. Now, the National Library of Medicine, I got some information from there. And it says they did a study, right?
Hmm.
They did a study, and they said molesters. Now we're going on the deviant side of it. Molesters
Yeah.
also are reportedly have higher scores on fantasies where they were the actor, and higher scores on fantasies most closely related to sexual molestation behavior. So the subsequent analysis, they said, found that both offender groups reported significantly lower levels of fantasies than college comparison subjects. So basically, they did the study. They compared like they did a Wilson sex fantasy questionnaire, and then the goal of the present study was to examine the difference between child molesters and non-sexual offenders. The
Hmm.
comparison included four underlying factors. Two factors associated with the fantasizer's role in the fantasy, and two items most closely related to the sexual molestation behavior. So it said that the results found that the molesters reported higher scores on the exploratory and intimate subscales as well as overall fantasy. So um, I guess it actually does have something to do with, like you're saying, like
Being broken or something like that.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Um, and the reason I'm talking about this is because it relates to. I notice how things in the media, and once again, I'm not dumping on any specific group. I mean, I'm pretty much just looking at what's in the media. Um, it seems like a lot of deviant behavior. It would seem to be deemed as deviant behavior on the scientific end. It seemed to be promoted more so in our society, and it seemed to look like, oh, And I know people have a heart for it, more so, or compassionate. I should say, people have compassion because they say, well, I have family member that's like this, or I'm like this, or they, or whatever like that. So I think you should have compassion for people have that gone through those type of things, because my thought was always, and from people I've experienced or talked to, as far as experience talking to them, and everything like that, most of the people I would say, well, I'm gonna say 100%, 100% of the people who I know that in society, you know, is pushed to be, or they got pride events and everything. I say 100% of the people I know in my own personal life and I've talked to about it, they all said the same thing. Something happened to them. And I'm not saying that's for everybody. I'm not saying that's the across the board. I'm just saying 100%. Now, if I I wish I could have said 95 or 80% of people or whatever, but majority of the people I've talked to, they said something happened to them, and that kind of got them going in that world or whatever. So I just look at it like I don't think we should make. I don't know. Now, this is just an opinion or just a thought perspective. I ain't gonna say an opinion, a perspective.
A point of view.
Yeah, point of view. I don't think we should see celebrating. I think we should have compassion for, but I don't think we should be celebrating or pushing um, deviant behavior as a lifestyle as far as for everybody. Because for one, I feel like what you do or your how you get down and as it relates to intimacy and sex, I don't think that should be a thing pushed in the forefront of what you something. I'm still from the old school. Some things should be left private, like what I do in my bedroom. Hey, that's my business. What you do in yours is your business. I don't think that should be pushed as like, hey, this is who I am. I think you're who you are as a person, how you carry yourself, how you treat people, what I'm saying, your courtesy, your kindness, that should be something that's pushed. I should know more about that about you than the first thing I know about you is how you like to get down in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's more than one type of pride, you know what I'm saying? It ain't all about the rainbow and being, you know, um, in that type of life. Some people proud of calling themselves a kinkster or a fetishist or, being in the lifestyle, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And some people wear that like a badge of honor, and that's fine. Now, when you put yourself on that kind of pedestal, you open yourself to kink shaming, and that right there is where judgment starts to come into play. So okay, so let's just say you got your fantasies, and then you got your paraphilias. But then when you talk about your man Buck, you know what I'm saying, his is more like on the fetish side of the game, which means that's probably the only way that he can get off. You know what I'm saying? And so he has to go through that whole canon, that whole regimen that he goes through, be it drugging up somebody and fucking them and doing whatever strums his guitar. You know what I'm saying? Without killing them, it's probably optimal. But some people have to go through that whole completion thing. And I mean, I ain't gonna put my business out there on the street, but you know what I'm saying. It's something to get kink shamed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I and you know what, I can get with that perspective, but it's one thing you said, one powerful thing you said with that so-called king shame. You said if you put it out there, you open yourself up to it.
Right.
So
right.
I don't see. So that's why I say I don't think it's shame. I can't say it's shaming because it's saying. I mean, you putting it out there. I think.
Yeah,
you put it out there for public criticism.
One man's freaky is the next man's nasty.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You put it out, and then we look at the picture of Ed Buck here. These are the two brothers he had, killed or whatever, or then you have. But also one thing about Ed Buck, you see his political affiliation. He was a big Democratic donor. He got pictures with Hillary, as we see here. So these people are protected. You know what I'm saying? That's the messed up part about it. These people are protected in society. You see what I'm saying? Like his money protected him, so he was a big time donor to the Democratic Party. So they never, you know what I'm saying? Like it said in the story from the DOJ. This kind of behavior was just let go and let to be reckless. Like, oh, well, he does give a lot of millions of dollars to, this party is such and such, you know what I'm saying?
You say he raised, but he saved.
Exactly. Like I said, a lot of this deviant behavior, you can hide behind money, you can hide behind your race. Because even Hillary got her little swipes, agreeing. She said Margaret Sanger is her mentor. You know what I'm saying? This lady says she hates black people altogether. So it's like, it's
money can show enough cushion the blow, some derelict type shit. So,
Now see, he looking like Skip Bayless right here. This is him on the face chat. This is him on the face chat with dude. You know what I'm saying? This is how he like to get down and stuff. He got the dog. Just come on over, man. You know what I'm saying?
And
So,
then the brother thinking about trying to get him a little zaddy and
you
shit.
know what I'm saying? He ain't right about that, but look, he think I could get a little lick, I could get some money. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
If he already in that lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? He like, well, man, I could at least come up, just like a female, oh, well, oh, such and such gonna let me come to their crib. Oh,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
so, but we got, this is sick. I mean, not, wait, this is sick, man. This is like on a level of
Well,
Dahmer type.
it's unhealthy, and if
Yeah,
your thought of
man.
life is unhealthy, and
You know,
I mean, I'm not one to be judge or jury, but when you talk about taking life, that's not natural. That's unnatural sexual, uh, what I'm saying, stimulation.
yeah. And so now also, like a lot of people say, a lot of people in our community, uh, a lot of people in our community kind of, the big thing with, R. Kelly and the media and stuff. And, you know, as we see Kales, and that lead me to this, remember when Kales, look, I remember when Kels was doing this made me know it was something off. Like he was dressing up like a pink, Zorro and shit, and but at the same time, my heart, I look at this. One thing I do look at him about his situation is because as far as the court, how they got him on charges, that was kind of some kind of some BS. Like if you go get the man, get him right, like y'all just throw some, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't even want to get into the court proceeding. Not to say he don't deserve to be in jail. I'm not saying that at all because he was doing some shit. You know what I'm saying? But the thing I want to say about him is like why nobody, like, he's dragged through the mud and everything like that, but then when nobody talks about the deviant behavior that got him to that point. His sister was, fondling him and shit. I mean, you got to know something wrong with a dude dressing up. You got a pink fedora and a pink mask.
Yeah, I mean, he's a victim at some point in time, but that's still an excuse for being.
Don't excuse what he did. I'm not saying it excuses what he did. As you see here, him and Leah back in the day.
I mean, that right there is fundamentally fucked up as it is.
I don't know what because he was how much older than her at this time?
He was
like
grown.
She was, huh?
She's 15.
Bro. yeah, that. And how old was he at the time? What, early 20s, maybe?
It don't matter, man. He was a.
I'm just saying, like you.
I mean,
it don't matter. I mean, they weren't like they wasn't 2 years apart. Well, that's what I'm trying to come up like.
But you know what I'm saying. But not to put all the onus on him, but she had to be complicit too. And I know this pod ain't about this subject, but that right there is really the potting the soil for that type of shit. They both probably have fucked up experiences coming up, and so
goes back to the parents is what you saying. Like a lot of those parents.
Well, they passed. Period. It might not have been parents, but it could have been something that happened under their parents' nose or while they were away. But
I'm saying back. Like for the parents, for like the new, like all the victims who came out.
Yeah.
Said, oh, remember their families was trying to be singers, and they remember he had already had a history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He already married her.
And then his shit, I mean, his shit kind of falls under the whole Ed Buck and even Doc Cosby, how that it's like a power play and it's mostly about power to get that sexual, to come to that point, you know what I'm saying, that sexual point, that satisfaction, Some people power, some people just like to be totally humiliated. I mean, whether it gets you there, but
I mean, my point is there's a lot of deviant behavior in society that's swept under the rug. Because, like, to me, the R. Kelly thing is pretty much like, back in the day when we was going to high school, it was old ass niggas picking the girls up, find us up at swooping right up, picking them right up, and you like, damn, you ain't in high school, man. Or you talk to a babe you want to get at in high school. She was like, my boyfriend, I don't date high school dudes. You like, what? Shit,
I'm,
you in
I'm,
class with me?
I mess with men.
Right, I mess with grown men, and then for real, you see a grown man swoop up in the little Lexus. Remember the little Lexus that look like Toyota Camrys? Swoop them
Oh
up,
yeah.
or they had old school. You know what I'm saying? So that's like behavior.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, just like on Belly, like Vita character. Why she had to be 16? You know what I mean?
oh, you talking about the one that was messing with X?
Yeah, nigga.
Oh, that is right.
Yeah, man, that shit's been pounded into normalcy over the years, man. But that shit ain't right.
Hell no, it ain't right. Yeah, because
I mean, you can tell it's kind of a
she
touchy
said,
subject for me, but
I'm paraphrasing, but she said, right, Tommy, man, Tommy can't get that. He said, when I turn 18, ain't it? Ain't that what she said?
yeah, man,
Right. He only let me, you know what I'm saying, what the
yeah,
whoopie whoop for
topsy
now.
topsy thing.
Yeah, the topsy wopsy. You know what I'm saying?
that
Like,
double
yeah,
head, look.
man. You know what? For real, and that's why I want to bring the subject to the light. You know what I'm saying? Especially in our community, like a lot of the a lot of things we go through in our community are very much linked to mental health. You know what I'm saying? That is something, and a lot of the behavior that's inappropriate is just being swept under the rug and just be getting put in a normal part. Now that brings me to my next subject, as far as normalcy in of deviant behavior in society, uh, is the you know oh, let me go to the community real quick. Uh, Now the drag queen reading exhibitions, you know, I can't believe this is going on in society. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying that they, hey, if you want to go to drag queen show, that's your thing. That's cool if you're a grown ass adult. But this reading to the kids thing, man, this has been a big subject around the country. And actually, that one right there, the one you see before you, this drag queen recently who danced. Listen to this. This motherfucker danced for kids, and he's charged with 25 counts of child pornography. Yeah, not a good look. So that's that's why I don't understand. Like it's deviant behavior, because it is deviant behavior. A drag show, like most people say, oh, that's not really deviant. I mean, it's a show, but it's not.
It's a kink, man, and I'm not
There
gonna
you
lie.
go. It's a kink, right? But why are we connecting kink behavior with children?
Nah, man, somebody didn't vet out the help, and shit like that happens. I mean, I wouldn't just put anybody,
I mean,
to do some shit in front of some kids.
I mean, I'm just
Or even
saying,
be
if we're gonna,
around kids,
I mean, like I'm gonna throw this perspective at you, Swag. Hey, if we're gonna let drag queens read for the kids, let's say we vet them and they clean, right? Then what should we let porno stars read for the kids too?
Shit, if they
Why
ain't got
shouldn't
no
we?
history of pedophilia, I mean, they would
Should,
probably qualify.
should
I
we
mean, it's
have
the same
Cherokee?
thing. I mean, it's
Should we have
probably not.
Pinky reading to the kids? Should we have
Well,
Cherokee?
this is my ideal person to have come read to my kids, but you know, I mean, a drag queen and a porn star is pretty much two equals to me.
That's what I'm saying. So they're both entertainers. So like,
Yeah.
I mean,
But
that's what I'm saying. That's why.
as far as my school, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want neither one.
That's what I'm saying, man. I
But
think
I
we're
mean,
doing
but
look.
that's just because they're sex workers. I don't want them people being around my kids. Sex workers in
Exactly.
general. Yeah.
Exactly. So we should be protecting the kids from such individuals. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like when somebody get grown, okay, you grown, you can do what you want. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go to them type of shows, or that's how you like to get down. I am not mad at you. That's what you want to do. You grown, you can do what you want. You're a grown adult. But as far as children, and I had another picture was
Oh, so you tell me this person, let's just say they found in their hard drive or in their phone 25 pieces of inappropriate child material? I mean, is that what's happening here?
yeah.
Okay,
So
that's something different.
no. They got charged with 25 counts of child pornography. Basically, this person's home got raided, and then It was alerting them to the fact that 76 files with child pornography had been put in a Dropbox account under
Oh,
their
see,
name,
yeah. That's we talking about like Jared Fogle right there.
and confirmed at least 25 child porn files in his bedroom, and also had been charged with 25 counts of child pornography as 18 counts of criminal use of communication facility. Um, I mean, but still though, like that's
No,
that's
man, no,
that's like look like that's like putting the snake in a chicken coop. Like here, go ahead, read snake, read to the
I
chicken.
mean, that's just
Go
like
ahead.
like parents letting R. Kelly recruit their young daughters who can halfway sing.
You know, I mean, I'm just saying though, that's a bad look. You know what I'm saying?
No, man, that's a monster right there. But I
Hell yeah,
mean,
he said it's a
but I'm talking about on the base level, not because
uh,
they dabble in drag or some shit. They got other shit going on.
right. But that's to back to the point of drag queens. I don't think should be reading to no damn kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just being real, man. Like
Well, at least not in drag. I
that's
mean, if a
that's
drag
right.
queen come
That's
in a Clark Kent persona
right.
to
That's like we
read,
don't.
that's a different thing. But
Is you basically you promoting sexual deviancy, or you promoting either way, even if you don't want to put no end at nothing. Like if I say sexual, I say deviant, whatever. Even if you promoting sex to kids, period. Let's cut even if we cut off the end of whatever statement I want to make, you're promoting sex to kids. Like that's gonna confuse a kid. Like I mean, like because think about it, most kids are not even gonna interact or be around no drag queen at no point in their life until they're an adult or a teenager, or if they go to that lifestyle. So, and that could be when when they get later on in life. But like at 5 years old, my kids should know. What the fuck, like be around a drag queen. Read like why is that a
and I
thing? Why
got
is
I,
that
I
even a
got an
thing?
example. I got an example. Okay, so like let's just say you had a kid that was in primary school, and a comedian was coming to read. Would you have a problem with that?
You said what now? If I was if it was a
Like if you had a kid in primary school, and a comedian was coming to read to the kids, would you have a problem with that? Comedian.
comedian, um, like, but why would I don't know. I mean, it would kind of, it would kind of, if I heard that, it would do something, because I was like, why the fuck, why is a comedian reading to some kids?
I mean, just as an entertainer,
It depends on what kind of comedy they do. Like, if you know what I'm
well, I
saying,
mean,
like,
no, they come in to read the Hardy Boys or Amelia Bedelia. You know what I'm saying? They still doing the.
I mean, look, it's different if it's somebody famous. Let's say Kevin Hart went back to his old elementary school and say, "Look, I'm gonna read to the kids." That's
I see what
different.
you did there, Keith.
That's
Because
different, though.
you know where I'm going.
No,
So
because
okay.
if it's think
So
about it,
let's
if
just
he
say
went to that school, he has a connection to the school. He's just not. It's just not. We just not randomly getting Kevin Hart to come read to the kids. He has a connection. Like I went here. Like Dave Chappelle when he was he had a connection to that school, so I could understand that anybody. Like think about it. If you get famous, you're gonna like. I'm gonna go back to my old elementary school.
okay. So let's just say in the Clark Kent form, Flame Monroe went back to her old school to read. Would you be fine with that if your child went to Flame Monroe alma mater?
Um, if
But
my
I ain't
kid
talking
went to
about in
Flame
full
Monroe,
flame. I'm talking about in the dude in the fedora with the glasses with his kids, the regular Anthony dude or whatever.
well, if you are, I mean, it depends on the person. Back, if you coming in like a man, like, hey, I got my fedora
Yeah,
on, shaved up,
like Clark Kent,
because you know what,
Clark Kent, straight up.
because you know what, I watched Corey Holcomb and Flame said his son played basketball. He said he don't dress up like no drag queen and go. He
That's
goes
the
as a
exact
man.
scenario I'm
He said I
saying.
go with sweats, hoodie, my skull cap on, my beard out, shaved and everything,
I
So
mean, yeah.
it's but see that's different, because the difference of that is because I'm coming as who I am. I'm not being promoted as a drag queen coming to read to kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming as who I am to read to the kids. The kids might not even know that I dress up, or they just know, oh, hey, I'm a comedian.
like this person. I mean, even though
Right.
they're a drag queen, they're a fucking Chester.
But I still
So
don't think I still don't think I still don't think a school would reach out. Even if he went there, I don't see the school that Flame went to reaching out and say, "Hey, come read to the kids." I don't see that happening. Like I just believe in children's minds are like sponges, and I think you should protect
I
the
mean, yeah,
kids at
and
all
they're already
costs.
being desensitized because of all the information available on the phone. So
I
that's
mean,
what has all these doors, opening so easily. It seems like.
yeah, I mean, but this is a whole agenda of promoted saying, "Hey, let's get a bunch of drag queens." It didn't say let's go get a bunch of nice, kind people to read to some kids. They said we're gonna get drag queens to come read to the kids. We're gonna promote sexual deviancy in some ways to come around these kids that shouldn't even remember when we was in school. We didn't have sex ed till you didn't have sex ed till you was in high school. And now you talking about some drag queens coming to read to some 5-year-olds. You see what I'm saying? That's that I'm just not, you know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, not adorning the full costume. I mean, that's not even making it about the
Yeah,
books or
now
the
if they
kids.
want to come as whoever they is, and they in their
Yeah,
daily,
like
life.
but they come dressed down and it's let's just say Mel from the diner, you
Right.
know, and I mean during the day it's short order cook. You know what I'm saying? If he came in red, I wouldn't have a problem. Even if
Right,
after
right.
they get off the diner, he might come out in full RuPaul. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I just and then it goes back. There was another story too. This ain't just that ain't just that's just not only like one incident. There was another story too. I'm trying to get the pickup, but as we get the pickup here, there was there was another incident where there was a drag queen or whatever like that, and they was reading to the kids, and something else came up. Uh, this particular drag queen here. Let me get my story straight, y'all. Give me my little time here. Um, this particular one, he basically, or she, whatever you want to call him, um, he basically, it was a third. This is now a third drag queen exposed as a sex convict. David Lee Richardson, aka Miss Kitty Litter, convicted of male prostitution. I said that this is part of the whole read to drag queen stories. It's a drag queen story time at Houston, Texas Public Library, complete with predators charged with sexual assault of minors, stripping for dollars.
Mm,
Got you hear that? Got charged with sexual assault
I heard
of minors.
that.
And this drag queen has been interacting with the reading stories of children in the local Austin library.
Who the fuck keeps hiring these fucking criminals to even be around the kids? That's who needs to really be talked to. But like you said, it could be some agenda there.
Yeah. So but
But I mean, I don't understand. I mean, just I mean, do you really put your kids in front of molesters? Um,
right.
just so you can have a drag queen in front of them? I mean, I don't get it. Like,
Well, there's a city in North Carolina that are protesting. They say they want the drag queens around their kids. Apex, North Carolina. They said they are fighting so that they kids should be exposed to the drag queens. Like now, a lot of them are Caucasian. I ain't seen one black one out there, but it was on Caucasian. They were saying that we want them around. And let's go back to this. Let's go to some people who don't look like drag queens. This lady right here, she got 60 days in jail for having. She's a teacher. She got 60 days in jail for having an affair with a 13-year-old. Only, and she got 15 years probation. The community there is outraged that she only got 60 days, and she has to register as a sex offender for her life, but she only got 60 days, no jail time. Or no, 60 days of jail time and 15. So I don't think the
that's
punishment fits
5 years,
the
yeah.
but it was a 13-year-old boy. She was having sex with him in the classroom. She was having sex with him in her car 7 times.
Hey, did you say 60 months or 60 days?
60 days.
What?
Yep. Yep. But
I think that chalks up to more of that desensitization desensitization, desensitization. Because ain't nobody even shocked no more. But that's really that's a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, y'all. We're gonna be right back right here to talk on this topic. Weekend High Podcast. Right back at you. We're gonna look quick commercial. Some of our little sponsors and stuff, free sponsors, I should say. But we'll give them some little shine and love right now, y'all. Be right back. This is which is Just Oysters Phoenix. Go fuck with Chef Blake. Just Oysters Phoenix. He's doing it out there in the Phoenix area. If you're in the Phoenix area, it ain't a lot of black folks anyway, so you better fuck with him. And you know what I'm saying? He does seafood, he does oysters, he does private dinners. He's a trained chef from the La Cordon Bleu Institute. So one of the top culinary schools. He don't be messing around. He knows what he's doing in that kitchen. He also like I said, does a lot of pop-ups in the area. So make sure you show your boys some support. Make sure you hit them up, fellas, if you want that private dinner with your woman, you know what I'm saying? You want to have a real chef there who ain't gonna be trying to get at your woman, you know what I'm saying? And he just gonna cook. Then call my brother, Chef Chef Blake. Some chefs be in there cooking for you, trying to get at your woman and shit. Like, it look good. But call you like, yeah, kick him out and shit. You like, he cooking good for your woman, she loving it and shit. But my brother ain't gonna hate on you like that. He was very professional. Will educate you on what he's doing, educate you on the type of food you're eating, and he will put together some flavors and flavor combinations that you would not believe. So definitely check out Just Oysters Phoenix. He is all on social media. So if you need the information, you can also check it out. We did an interview with him back in the, I want to say one of our first episodes. So if you're on YouTube, go back and look. His information is there in the description. All his information, email address, and everything. How to get in contact with him. Just Oysters Phoenix, Chef Blake, fuck with him, and we out. Welcome back from that commercial break. Weekend High Podcast back in here once again, talking about basically how a lot of sexual fantasies and sexual different deviant things, fetishes, kinks, whatever you want to say, how they relate to people's mental health and why they do those things. So we just talking about that. And I got my man Swag in here, it's your boy KZ. And we're just going to continue where we left off here. We were talking about this crazy individual here, the whole drag queen read the kids movement. We just coming up out of that. This particular one, like I said, we were talking about the charges and what have you. This person right here was convicted for being like a sex worker, and they got this fool around here, reading the kids, which is not good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not with the whole, read to the kids story time or anything like that. There was another one. There was another one that they had recently got caught up in the news. That was convicted pedophile dressed as a woman reads to kids at a public library. So this is already a convicted. This was like, I don't know. This is a convicted one. So all across the nation where they're having these story times or whatever, a lot of these ones that's doing it, they're getting called out for all these, messed up charges where you wouldn't even have them around no kids. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean, if they convicted their sex offender, they shouldn't be allowed to be around kids in that close of a proximity anyway. You know what I'm saying? So them hiding their history, it seems like if this the way we going, they're gonna have to step up their vetting process.
Yeah. The last one, his name was Albert Garza, 32 years old. He's a registered sex offender who was convicted of assaulting an 8-year-old boy in 2008. But it has not hindered him from dressing in garnished women's clothing, calling himself Tatiana Malanina. And he's part of the whole, the news broke basically an alternate name for drag queen story time. He was reading to, it's called, Pederast Story Hour in Houston. So he was doing some crazy shit too, man. I mean, like I said, once again,
and we talking about a sex offender, right?
Yeah,
man, that's a problem. And then I mean, call me conservative, but why would they be reading to children in full regalia anyway? You know what I
Right.
mean?
And the thing about it, the thing about it is crazy is a lot of these cities is pushing. There's one in San Francisco, but it's a lot of cities is pushing for these story hours, or I shouldn't say a lot of cities. I should say that I guess that population is pushing for it. But then, like, as you keep seeing more and more, I mean, you can just look through, pull up your Google and look. You'll see a list of different ones charged, like story time reading hour finds out to be this, finds out, you know what I'm saying? So this definitely is something safe. I don't know if people think, oh, I'm teaching my kids something about other people by having them. I mean, there's other ways you can learn. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That ain't really, what I'm saying, a fundamental way to me to be learning. That's like, you know what I'm saying? That would be almost like if you had, what I'm saying, um, like you just had a bunch of grown, men for no reason just reading the kids coming to the school. They'd be like, why is this dude always up here want to be around the kids and at the school? You know what I'm saying? You like, wow, that's that it would just wouldn't be a normal thing. I mean, I could see if it was somebody's dad in a class or whatever, like, but I'm just talking about a random dude just coming to the school. Hey man, I'm gonna read to the kids. People be looking like, man, get your crazy. The school wouldn't even probably let you in. So, but actually, this wasn't this school. I'm sorry, this was at the public library. So, with that being said, public library. So, still, I mean, it's a place that's a bunch of kids gonna be. Um,
Yeah, but at least you got a choice if you want to have your kid there or not, though. I mean, it's a little different.
yeah, I mean, you got a choice at school too, boy. You tell your kid, hey, don't, you know, I
You
don't
say
want
the
my kid.
opt out, yeah.
Yeah, permission slip denied. You know what I'm saying? Like opt out game. You know what I'm saying? But I want to go back to. I think we were talking about this teacher here. She got actually 60 days. You know what I'm saying? For she was busting down a little 13-year-old dude. They said he was having sex with her in the car, in the classroom, after school. So but you know what I'm saying? He's still a child, and she got 60 days. You know what I'm saying? So um
Yeah,
60
that's a
days, and then
that's
she
a
got
that's a
15
head
years
scratcher
probation.
right there, man.
Her name is Marka Bodine. Marka Bodine. Um, she was out there, banging a little kid in Texas, junior high school teacher, and she was basically had a whole relationship with him for over 3 years, and now she's been given a short prison sentence of 60 days and 10 years probation, not 15, after she pled guilty to the charges on Tuesday, August 2nd, because she just gave birth. However, the prosecutors had hoped for a sentence of up to 40 years. So he was trying to get her for 40 years. She got 60 days. She's been convicted of sexually abusing a boy who was a minor, and she met the boy while teaching English at Tomball Intermediate School in Texas. She's married at the time she met the boy. The abuse went on for 3 years. She was having sex with him in the classroom and the car on several occasions. Following her divorce, she even moved into his apartment building. Uh,
Oh,
he had in-house. Well, 13 years old, at least in apartment. According to the court documents, the inappropriate, I'm sorry, I don't make because that's still a young man. But according to the court documents, the inappropriate relationship was discovered in 2021 after Boudin informed the principal of Tomball that he was being harassed by a former student. Bodine informed the principal that the 13-year-old boy was threatening to harm himself and had access to her personal photographs as well as manipulated images of her. Damn. Um, so he he got good and he started, harassing her after he, stopped being a student. Searching both Bodie's phones. You know what? Stop like both Bodie's phone and the boy's phone revealed several messages with images exchanged between them. Some of the images were sexual, explicit in nature, and the boy told investigators he befriended her during an online video game session and later began texting. Damn. So He met her on
The reason I keep chuckling is because I'm thinking I ain't have many teachers that look like that.
damn. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. The teacher game when we was coming.
Even in my high school day, it was some of them that was getting trained up by some, athletes and jocks and whatnot, but they wasn't looking like this, man.
I mean, I'm just saying, yeah, most of our teachers coming up, they were older. I mean, I had a couple good looking. I mean, yeah. I really look at teachers like I just look at them like teachers,
I mean, we talk about Indiana Sixes probably.
Right.
Now, some of the student aides that would come through their senior year of college, doing their internship, some of them was decent.
Well, I went to Catholic school most of my life, from kindergarten to 8th grade. So, you know what I'm saying? You dealing with
the altar boy side of the game.
Nah. No, I wasn't no altar boy. I'm not Catholic. I just went to Catholic school. You know what I'm saying? Private school. Private school. I just went to private school. You know what I'm saying? So that's not my religion. I didn't practice it, but I knew people, that was the altar dudes up there and stuff like that. But still, the teachers, it wasn't that kind of thing going on. I see more of that now, where the teachers getting involved. I think because of the society we live in. I think at the time, look, at the time we was coming up in that era, I think it was still a little bit of classiness and some kind of couth about yourself, and some kind of, people carried themselves, I would say, a little more classier than today. Because today anything goes. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and then also I think it's a touch of, it was a time where teachers actually had honor and pride in their craft.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then, we got people now just trying to get $1. Everybody trying to fuck at the job pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's what I said. See, teachers had pride. It was like, they had more couth. That's where you had the Joe Clark movies and, what I'm saying?
Knee-high stockings and shit.
Right, man. Like, you didn't, it was like you was a teacher. It was like something to be respected. Even back then, like, even being a minister was something to be respected. And then, you would carry yourself a certain way, but then as time goes on and things evolve, then you see the ministers getting caught up. Oh, I got caught up.
Yeah, but as far as she's concerned, I think, maybe an overexposure to different of these newer genres in porn maybe desensitized her and made her want to go in. But right here, you're looking at sickness, illness, something is missed.
You said a connection, you think it's something to do with a porn addiction she had?
I'm just saying, just something desensitized her to make her think that was okay at some point in time. Somewhere in their life, that part was escalating. I'm pretty sure if you look back on the history, first she might have just, been.
Well, I mean, that she had a childlike mind to me because she met him online playing a video game. So, I mean, I'm not trying to say that, what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that you kind of step.
Yeah, but I mean, it's clear that she's mentally broken, if not worse.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, just as far as our topic, what I'm saying.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure this was like pretty much something that she be hot to and take care of herself to, thinking about, and then finally it manifested.
I mean, it sounds like she got what she wanted out of it, was cool, and he was doing it. He started harassing her like,
well, yeah, you get grown pussy, and
but then too, you know what? I ain't gonna put that on that kid because at the same time she moved to his apartment building.
Oh yeah, she was close to home, but I'm just saying, if I was 13 and somehow I was able to get in, or it happened to me, or however you want to say it, and then that'd be hard fucking source of to get down to walk away from. I'd be tripping too, probably, honestly.
I see what you're saying. You're saying at that age, especially hormones out of whack. You 13. You Johnny Hormone at 13.
He got in-house and in-school pussy at we talk about he the goat of his class.
He's the goat of his
class. That Gort.
Hell no. Man, well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I
you
mean,
know
I
what?
don't feel sorry for her at all. I feel like she got off overly easy, but I don't know about Texas state law and how they do it down there. I know it's a little different,
Mhm.
but gee whiz, man. She might be related to somebody too.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I mean, it seems to be it also seems to happen. Like I've seen it happen uh with different with different races or whatever. But it
Mhm.
seems like the dominant race when this happens is we're looking at it right now on the screen.
Oh,
But
as far as the predator side of the game, yeah.
right. Like
Now,
when I've seen it happen on our side of the game, it was in college. But then again, you kind of damn near grown in college. You know what I'm saying?
damn near they are grown. The shit's unethical, but it's not illegal.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They of age, but because I mean, some of them probably went to HBCU, so some of them professors was,
Ooh,
you know
that's
what I'm
good.
saying? I'm not gonna slide. They
Yeah,
they
I
was,
ain't gonna
but
hold you, but
I mean, they'd be flirting and everything. You be like, damn, I see how she passing this class. Damn. No, I don't want to say.
hey, no, I tell you what, man, I went to music school, and if I was ever in the position where I was struggling for a grade, I would have to think.
Hell no, man.
I'm
Yeah.
just talking. I'm just talking. I'm just talking. That was
Hell
cap. That was
no.
cap. That was cap.
He said that's cap. That's cap. That's cap. All right, man. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. We're gonna move on along. This has been this episode of B Side with me and my man Swag, me boy KZ and Swag like a mug. We'll have other shows like this where we talk about roundabout discussions. The next B side we probably gonna do is gonna be dealing with marriage. What I'm saying? Is marriage the worst contract in America? Because you got 360 deals in music. We're gonna talk about some of the worst contracts, 360 deals in music. Is marriage up? Where is marriage ranked up there? Because think about it, it really is a
Trigger
bullshit
alert!
contract.
Trigger alert! I'm playing.
So we're gonna talk about that next episode. So please be on the lookout for that. I know y'all gonna be waiting on that one. Other than that, we're gonna see y'all on the flip side on our regular show, current event show, breaking down in 3, 2, 1. We'll see y'all on the other side, man. Peace.
Peace.